Most people have no idea what landscape architects do.
Some of the most rewarding projects are those that the entire community gets to experience.
Landscape architects impact people's lives on a daily basis, but in really subtle ways.
It's an inherent part of landscape architecture to think about resiliency, especially here in Florida. Sometimes that involves elevating structures, walkways to accommodate any kind of flood elevation. Other times it's the hardening of a shoreline edge in a particular way that adapts with the plantings that are there, mangroves or grasses.
One big component of resilient design is making spaces that are really flexible while still being functional, and that kind of elasticity makes projects really strong because it's not just programmed for one specific thing. I think that landscape architects can really create projects that are socially engaging as well as environmentally sustainable, and I think in the long run that creates resilient projects.
You have to give forethought to the materials you're choosing, the plant material. Think about that. I mean, you put the wrong plant material somewhere, it's going to be dead in a year or two. It's at a huge cost to the city or the homeowners association or whatever it is. So there's a lot more to resiliency than a lot of people think.
There's some features that have been incorporated into Julian B Park for stormwater management, some bioswales, ways that drainage is taken care of, the elevation of structures, the elevation of some of the walkways to minimize some of the encroachment onto some existing tree canopies. The boardwalk system that was utilized adjacent to those existing oaks, that system has a very minimal footprint. So from a sustainability and green technology standpoint, we're utilizing the existing features of the site to really create a more remarkable walkway through that space.
Having to build resilient places means socially resilient and environmentally resilient. So flexible spaces are kind of the way to go with that.
The park, again, it was an existing park space, but there was no programming to it. Maybe anytime you drove past it, there was nobody in the park.
So there's the dog park, there's the splash pad, there's the boat launch, and having a lot of different user groups in the same project is another big component of resiliency, because it means that there could be no event happening here today and there's still people occupying the park.
And I think some of the design solutions that we love the best are when people don't notice that we've done something to incorporate a unique situation on a site, and sometimes that's our success.
People notice when things are designed poorly more than they notice when things are designed really well, and that's kind of the beauty of it.
We're the bridge kind of between the civil engineers and the architecture side of things, the buildings and everything else, so it's like a puzzle. So you have all these elements that you need to fit into this boundary that you've been given.
And I think that's really the most important role that landscape architects play, is making sure everything is a solid, cohesive project in the end.